The Ottoman Harem, Myths versus Reality. Welcome to our channel. Today we're discussing one of the most misunderstood aspects of the Ottoman Empire, the harem. Often depicted as a place of indulgence and secrecy, the reality is far more complex. The harem is the door that opens to the sad world of power and reign. Ottoman harem culture is especially interesting. The world of women who entered as slaves and left as palace sultans, and men who were castrated to rule these women. Harem is a culture that did not exist in Turkish culture until the Ottoman Empire, and started and ended with the Ottoman Empire. Before and after the Ottoman Empire, Turkish women were treated with equal respect as men and could not be bought or sold as slaves. The harem was established from concubines who were bought as slaves. Join us as we separate fact from fiction and uncover the real role of the harem in Ottoman society. European travelers and diplomats often exaggerated the mysteries of the harem. For example, stories claimed that the Sultan would choose a concubine by placing a handkerchief in front of her. While this sounds dramatic, it is far from the truth. The harem was not a pleasure palace but an institution with a structured hierarchy and strict rules. One such European was Signor Grelet, a Venetian translator obsessed with the harem. He even set up a telescope to spy on Topkapi Palace, hoping to see the forbidden world inside. However, his actions were discovered, and he was executed, showing the empire's strict approach to maintaining the harem's privacy. What was the harem? The word harem means forbidden or sacred. In the Ottoman Empire, it referred to the private quarters where the Sultan's family lived. It was not merely a place for women but a highly organized institution where concubines, princesses, and powerful Valide Sultans, queen mothers, played a significant role in governance. The Valide Sultan, queen mother, was one of the most powerful figures in the Ottoman Empire. As the mother of the reigning sultan, she held immense influence over state affairs, palace politics, and the imperial harem. Her key roles included political influence. She advised the sultan, influenced government decisions, and often acted as a regent if her son was too young to rule. Harem authority. She was the highest-ranking woman in the harem, overseeing its administration and the selection and training of concubines. A wealth and patronage. She controlled vast financial resources, funding charitable projects such as mosques, schools, and hospitals. A diplomatic power. She played a role in foreign relations, sometimes negotiating with ambassadors and forming alliances through strategic marriages. The Haseki Sultan was the favorite consort or legal wife of the Ottoman Sultan and held significant influence in the palace and politics. Her role was especially powerful if she bore the Sultan's son, making her a potential mother of a future ruler. Key aspects of her position included influence over the Sultan. As the Sultan's favored partner, she had direct access to him and could influence his decisions. Political power. The Haseki Sultan played a role in palace politics, sometimes engaging in alliances or rivalries with other court figures, including the Valide Sultan. Authority in the harem. She was second only to the Valide Sultan in hierarchy and oversaw the management of the harem. A wealth and patronage. Many Haseki sultans, like Hurrem Sultan, used their wealth to fund major architectural and charitable projects, including mosques, hospitals, and schools. Potential future Valide Sultan. If her son ascended the throne, she could become the Valide Sultan, increasing her influence further. The title of Haseki Sultan emerged prominently in the 16th century with Hurrem Sultan, who was the first to officially hold the title and significantly changed the political landscape of the empire. Kerais, concubines, were enslaved women in the Ottoman harem who could rise in rank based on their beauty, intelligence, and talents. Their roles varied depending on their status and the Sultan's favor. Key aspects of their role included servants and attendants. Many Kerais started as servants, assisting the Valide Sultan, Haseki Sultan, and other high-ranking women in the harem. Education and training. They were educated in language, music, calligraphy, court etiquette, and sometimes politics to prepare them for potential roles as consorts. Potential consorts. Some Kerais gained the Sultan's attention and became his concubines, with the highest-ranking ones possibly bearing his children. Path to power. A Kerai who gave birth to a prince, Saitsad, could gain immense influence, potentially rising to the rank of Hasiki Sultan and later, Valide Sultan if her son became the Sultan. A legal protection. Unlike common slavery, Ottoman law and Islamic tradition provided Karais with rights. Many were freed after a certain period, and some were married off to high-ranking officials. The Karai system was not just about servitude. It was a structured institution that allowed social mobility, with some of these women becoming among the most powerful figures in the empire. There were also educators and administrators. Many women in the harem were educated in literature, music, and governance. The idea that the harem was only about leisure and luxury ignores the reality that women within it held immense political and social influence. Figures like Hurrem Sultan and Kozum Sultan shaped the empire through diplomacy and strategic alliances. But it also had a dark side filled with intense rivalries, betrayals, and even violence. The struggle for survival and power led to many tragic and ruthless events. The harem was a competitive environment where women vied for the sultan's attention. This competition often led to intense rivalries, manipulations, and even deadly plots. Women in the harem did not hesitate to eliminate their rivals. Some orchestrated assassinations, poisonings, and political conspiracies to secure their own power. Many women were brought in as slaves, often taken from their homelands at a young age. Once inside, they had little control over their futures. Some women used their influence over the sultan for personal gain, sometimes at the expense of the empire. Their manipulations could lead to bad governance and political instability. If a woman lost favor or became a political threat, she could be executed or exiled. The harem was not just a place of luxury. It was also a battlefield where survival was uncertain. The harem was one of the most secure places in the palace, protected by eunuch guards known as harem agalari. It had a multi-layered security system. The outer gates guarded by soldiers. The inner chambers guarded by eunuchs and the innermost sections, restricted to royal family members and trusted servants. During the 16th and 17th centuries, the empire experienced the Sultanate of women, where women, particularly Valide Sultans, played an active role in political decisions. Hurrem Sultan influenced Sultan Sulayman's policies, while Kozum Sultan orchestrated the removal and appointment of sultans to maintain power. Some notable women of the harem were Hurrem Sultan, one of the most famous women in Ottoman history. Hurrem Sultan was the wife of Sultan Sulayman the Magnificent. Originally a concubine of Slavic origin, she rose to power by marrying the Sultan, an unprecedented event at the time. She played a crucial role in state affairs, advised the Sultan on political matters, and was instrumental in the execution of Sulayman's son, Mustafa, ensuring her own son's path to the throne. Kozum Sultan. As the wife of Sultan Ahmed I and later the Valide Sultan to multiple rulers, Kozum wielded immense power. She effectively controlled the empire during the reigns of her sons, Murad IV and Ibrahim, as well as her grandson Mehmed IV. Her influence was so great that she was eventually assassinated by political rivals in the harem who feared her dominance. She was strangled by Turhan Sultan to secure power for her own son. Safi Sultan. The consort of Murad III and mother of Mehmed III, Safi Sultan was another highly influential woman in the Ottoman court. She maintained power through extensive political maneuvering and was known for her patronage of architecture, commissioning the famous Yeni Mosque in Istanbul. She also had a significant role in maintaining diplomatic relations with Venice. Handan Sultan. The mother of Sultan Ahmed I, Handan Sultan played a quieter but still significant role in the empire. She was of Greek origin and became the Valide Sultan when her son ascended the throne. Though not as politically dominant as some of her predecessors, she was a key advisor to Ahmed I, helping to stabilize the court during a time of political tension. Women received education in various subjects, including language, calligraphy, and state affairs. Many of them later married high-ranking officials, further extending their influence beyond the palace walls. However, life in the harem was not all sunshine and roses and consisted of a lot of jealousy and rivalry. One concubine allegedly set fire to the palace due to envy. There is a story about Sultan Ibrahim signing the death warrant of 280 concubines because he was told that one of the concubines had sex with another man. It is said that he tied stones to their feet, put them each in a sack, and threw them into the waters of the Golden Horn. It is even rumored that this event was the beginning of the rebellion that ended Sultan Ibrahim's reign. So to conclude, the Ottoman harem was far from the Western fantasies of an exotic paradise. It was a powerful institution where women played critical roles in shaping the empire. While drama and intrigue existed, so did intelligence, governance, and cultural contributions. Now sit back and relax while we continue with a video and some Orientalist music. That brings us to the end of this video. Please subscribe to help this channel grow. Until next time, stay curious.